In Buddhism, we spend a lot of time talking about desire. More than that, we talk about the suffering that can be caused if we engage with our desires unskillfully. However, it's also important to investigate where our desires come from. Why do we want the things we want? And why is it so hard to let go of our desires even if we know they are causing us harm? What I have found in my own investigations is that it's our habits that shape our desires. To put it another way, it is the actions we engage in daily life which plant karmic seeds in the world, and when conditions are correct, those seeds ripen to create new desires. Here's an example. If I were to come to you and say, do you want $1 million? Most people watching this Dharma talk would say yes. But why is that? Why do you have a desire for $1 million? For that matter, why do you have a desire even for $1? Well, the answer is because we as Westerners are in the habit of using money, using dollars to engage in commerce. We don't make our own clothes, we buy them with money. We don't generate our own electricity, we buy it with money. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. We live in a capitalist system. Money is how we engage in trade. But I'm using this example to note that it's not the money that we desire. Actually, it's not even the things we can get with the money that is causing our desire. Rather, it is our habit of using money on a day-to-day basis that creates the desire for more money. Which is why if we were to go to another planet, say Mars, and ask a Martian, hey, do you want $1 million? They'd probably say no. First, we'd have to explain to them exactly what is $1 million. Then we'd have to walk them through why they should care about these sheets of paper that they can't eat or use as clothing, that their neighbors won't exchange goods and services for them with. And in the end, they would have no desire for $1 million because they are not in the habit of using money in the way that we are. So what do we do with this information? Well, if we understand that the source of our desires is our habits, is the actions that we engage in daily life, and we understand that some of our desires cause harm, we can then work backwards as Buddhists to determine what habits cause which desires, and then choose to engage in daily actions that lead to healthy, life-affirming desires. This is why Buddha stated in the fourth noble truth, the way to end desire is the noble eightfold path. When we talk about right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration, what we are talking about is not things that we should do just because, well, Buddha told us to. Rather, we're talking about habits, daily actions that have been proven to plant karmic seeds in the world which lead to healthy, life-affirming desires. Desires that end suffering for ourselves and for others. An example of this is the Nembutsu chant, Namo Amida Butsu, which literally translates to, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Now, I could spend many hours talking about what the meaning associated with the Nembutsu chant, but to put it simply, when we say Nembutsu, when we say Namo Amida Butsu, we are expressing gratitude. We are expressing gratitude for the Dharma and the teachings that Buddha laid out for us 2,600 years ago. We are expressing gratitude for the opportunity to practice Dharma in this life and potentially realize enlightenment. But more than that, we are expressing gratitude for all of the good things that we experience in this world that is filled with so much suffering. This is why it's not uncommon for a Buddhist to say either Namo Amida Butsu or praise Buddha if something good happens in their life. We go out and we see flowers growing after a rain. Namo Amida Butsu. We sit down to a lovely meal that is filling and good tasting. Namo Amida Butsu. We wake up in the morning and we're just happy to experience another day. Namo Amida Butsu. And what I've found by engaging in this Nimbutsu chant, in this habit of gratitude, is that it causes me to have the desire to find more things to be grateful for. We can be grateful for our clothing, grateful for our homes, grateful for our family members and friends, for our job that allows us to earn money to pay for the things we need in life. By creating the habit of gratitude, it causes us to desire to look out into the world and see other things we can be grateful for. But there are other habits we can create as well. And we can use our wisdom and discernment as Buddhists to figure out what those healthy, life-affirming habits are. Maybe we wake up early in the morning and we make the coffee, not just for ourselves, but for the entire household. Maybe we work late 1 or 2 nights a week to help out our colleagues with projects they're working on at work. Maybe we create the habit of every time we're driving on the road and someone needs to get into our lane, we slow down and let them in. It's going to differ for each individual person, but again, when we create the habit that is healthy and life-affirming, that leads to a desire that is healthy and life-affirming, which leads to more actions and habits, which leads to more desires, and thus we end up in a very healthy, life-affirming circle that is good, that is natural, that ends suffering, not just for us, but for all sentient beings. Amitabha.